Shalom, Rainicorns. It's Ellie here. Y'all give me 1 second, 1 second. Okay. Now, while this format may seem very much like a virtual business meeting, I will be sharing some gems and dropping some extras for people, even if you're not part of the membership. So, if you're not familiar with what a virtual business meeting is, that is when we take concepts like we're going to discuss in this particular video and go into extreme depth on it. And so, if you would like to join the membership, and had access to all of the virtual business meetings. I believe we've had seven or eight so far, and some other content for things like homeschooling, generational wealth, and stuff like that. That's all exclusive to our members, and they're starting at 99 cents a month. Okay, so you can start there as a six-figure angel. Okay, and you can have access to the virtual business meetings and everything that is not here visible on the channel. Okay, and so who runs the world, you guys? And here's the thing, when it comes to all of us who are in these conscious spaces, all these spiritual spaces, we have all types of answers, right? Oh, the elites, oh, the government, oh, the Pleiadians, oh, the reptilians, oh, this and that. Look, at the end of the day, what runs this particular matrix? Money. And so once you evolve past a poverty mindset, a lack mindset, and you evolve to an abundance and wealthy mindset, despite what your bank account specifically looks like, then you're able to comprehend what true currency is and not just money. So I'm going to come from a text here. But ASMR stuff. When I did my nails, I don't know how to act. Okay. Matrix life. We now comprehend how to integrate our spiritual existence with our Matrix 3D lives. By living luxurious, fulfilling lives, by pursuing our purpose, we are able to enjoy the Matrix while not being part of the system or be controlled. The love for life and righteous living that provides us with our lifestyle that transcends that of the majority. We are the minority. We love what we do and who we manifest with. We see ourselves in each other and build each other up. By doing this, our goals become achievements and stepping stones for more successes. Our private lives are spent growing spiritually in our farms, gardens, waterfront properties, and aircraft vehicles. We are the top percentile of high vibrational beings. We teach and influence others to live through righteousness and love. All praises to the Most High. So that is from hashtag New Age Investing, exploring traditional investments while exploring traditional investments and their technological advancements in Web3 while you stay in spiritual alignment. So I wrote this ebook and you can get it. It's in my About tab and everything like that on my channel. Okay, so when you pay attention to that, it is not about choosing to escape the matrix or beat the matrix or treat the matrix as if we don't all physically live here in the third dimension. We all physically live here in the third dimension, which is the matrix. So now you adapt your mentality to actually catering to what you would like for your matrix life to be. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Oh, that's fine. I could look at it later, okay? Because I'm busy right now. All right. All right. Michael Johnson say, "Hey, Ali, what's good, Michael?" And so, when you take into consideration that we still live here on this planet, it's about recognizing that, okay, these things have happened for this amount of time. These systems of oppression have existed for the structure of what we know today as civilization. So it is up to us to learn about these systems and be able to utilize them for our own purposes. So one of the cool things is if you get the ebook version of this, you can scroll on your phone with your eyes closed and then pause, on a page and then read that page. Or if you decide to print it out and make a cute booklet or a cool booklet yourself, then you can do this. And it'll flip to a page, like I said, of tarot cards. So the way that tarot works, when you get a random card and then it reads the energy, is the same way with this book. We know that we operate in certain aspects of the third dimensional matrix. This helps us connect with those like us and those transitioning out of the rat race type of lifestyle. By balancing our third dimensional interactions with the world and participating in our soul purpose, we are able to benefit the grand collective and ourselves. For more of an artistic expression of this idea, check out the last chapters in art form. And what did I just say? Isn't that very, very similar to what I just explained before I flipped the pages? We'll do it one more time. Look what chapter we're on. Spirituality and business and economics. And what's the title of the video? The saying goes that millionaires study trends and billionaires study astrology. JP Morgan is quoted, "Millionaires don't need astrologers, but billionaires do." Why would planetary alignments and energies affect business or investment strategies? Our next moves are more dictated by intuition and instinct rather than step-by-step plans when in the midst of innovation. Many founders, entrepreneurs, and CEOs, CFOs, high-level earners are very in tune with spirit and express that their spiritual practice affects their work. Many of these individuals share that meditation is a strong factor in their daily routine along with their diet. And so when you do things like watch interviews or you follow content creators that are high level entrepreneurs or financiers, then they'll tell you things like, oh, I wake up at 4 a.m. and I do a cold bath and I run 2 miles and then I meditate for an hour. That's what they do to make millions of dollars. They are so in tune with self, they are so in tune with spirit, they are so in tune with their soul that they make sure that their physical life is so spiritually run first before they set foot in their office. Crystal Lightweight Mindset said, wow, that was cold. NSYNC, no Justin Timberlake. Yo, that's too funny. Let's do now. We got Polo, Jimmy, and NSYNC, no Justin Timberlake. That's too funny. Firefly said, we back. Yes, we are. We're fully in gear, ready to go. And for the ladies who would like to know more about these things in depth from a more feminine perspective, check out the last couple of streams where we're talking about enhancing our appearance. Because while we enhance our appearance, we're also enhancing our mindsets as well. And so, with that, right, we as a collective have to educate ourselves. So, a lot of us, we just found out who we are. Oh, I just found out I am a queen. I found out I'm an empress. I found out I'm a god. I found out I'm an emperor. I found out I'm a king. That's beautiful. Now, what you have to do, knowing that you are royalty, is behave in such a manner. Be honest with me. Be honest with yourself. Does our community exemplify royalty in general? Does it? Okay, if that's the case, then we have to enhance the way that our people see ourselves. So now a lot of us are in the truth about who we are, and that's a beautiful thing. Are we exemplifying the behaviors of royalty? Truthfully and honestly. Okay? Is your regular everyday routine and regimen based on I am royalty, I am abundant, I am prosperous, I am wealthy? Do you eat, sleep, and breathe wealth? These high finance guys, they'll tell you, oh yeah, so I went vegan or I went vegetarian or I went pescatarian, and then I started working out 4 times a week and I started meditating for 30 minutes every day, and that was how I made $1 million in a year. They will tell you that everything is spiritual first. What you consume in your body, what you consume in your mind what you consume, even whatever type of relationship you're in. People on success journeys, they'll tell you very quickly, my relationship ended because of this, or as soon as I found this particular person, my career skyrocketed. The phrase goes, behind every powerful man is a strong woman, or behind every successful man is a strong woman. Why do you think that is? They don't just have these ladies around them just so they can use them as a physical item. No, they go home, they have dinner, they have conversations, and they speak about things like, yeah, so honey, I was in the office and this and this and that. And then the wife goes, well, why don't you do it like this? Or why don't you do that? Or da 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 da. Or you could hire this person, or you could hire this person. Oh, my girlfriend, she knows somebody who could do this for you. That is what being a high value woman is. That's a high value female. It is not always the physical appearance. It is not just having your own money specifically. It is what type of value can you add to the masculine's mentality. So a lot of us ladies, we're also entrepreneurs ourselves. And I actually have this in my notes. Hold on. In my notas. In mis notas. I would like for y'all to study these. Crystal said NJB turned up in the background. Shout out to him. LOL. He stayed turned. He just got back from outside. You know how it is. Like, you gotta run. You just gotta run it out. Just gotta run it out. Okay. So we're gonna do a couple of things here. For my avid Bible readers, the ones who actually take notes. Like, we do not play. We do not play. Look at them lines. Look at them circles. We don't play. Okay. I do have a reference for you all. I'm going to get to that reference after I read this. Okay? These individuals are very conscious of what they consume and how they eat. Veganism, vegetarianism, and pure meats are popular amongst this caliber of beings. They consume high vibrational foods and beverages, producing other high vibrational lifestyle choices. A reading by Dolo the Pilot Man, aka Archangel Uriel, was very prominent for Ellie, aka QBDG. Ellie watched this reading on December 22nd, 2022, and has rewatched a clip frequently until February 20th, 2023, the beginning of Pisces season. She produced a major project and started on a life-changing business strategy with a group of partners. Get in tune with your birth chart and astrological alignment so you can be aware of your shifts energetically. Uphold your health practices as health is your wealth. Peace, Ashe. And so, when you take all that into consideration, it's not just, oh, I'm spiritual for the sake of being spiritual because I like magic. Magic is great. What are you using your magic for? So one of the projects that I was talking about in this particular text is this book, for one, and this homeschool kit. Okay, I noticed that a lot, this is, if you go back to the movie Robots, see a need, feel a need. I noticed that a lot of our people are new to this information, new to this truth, and are in dire need of some sort of guide, some sort of blueprint in order to get to the next step. So if people are intending to homeschool, I have an entire kit to help them be able to homeschool properly and be able to get the resources necessary. Because it's not like a booklet where it's like a workbook. You can go to Knowledge Tree or other places that sell educational tools. You can go to Walmart or Target and buy workbooks that are in your children's grade level. What I recommend is getting workbooks that are 1 or 2 grade levels ahead of where your child's age is. So if your child is aged to be in 2nd grade, buy 3rd grade and 4th grade material. Okay? Even with that though, with the homeschool kit and those who are more spiritual, we don't have set curriculums. We have to do a lot of things creatively and figure out things by our intuition and what we're guided to share. And that is the reason I made the homeschool kit. Because if you get the homeschool kit, you automatically get this ebook. So all the information that I'm reading about high finance is hashtag new age investing, new age spirituality, which is not new age, it's old, but for marketing purposes, new age spirituality, along with the fact that we are investing because we now know how the matrix operates, using the material that's in this ebook along with one of my other ebooks, along with having a paid membership on my website so they can have access to, I think it's over $200 value on my website to be part of a particular membership. That's the price of it right now, just by getting this homeschool kit. So basically it's a bundle. It's not just the material in the kit, it's also this ebook. It's also another ebook which is entitled NFTs and real estate, learning about the physical tangible assets behind NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. Okay. And also having a paid community behind that at the same time. Now, before I get to the scripture text, I want y'all to study these goddesses. Atai, her name is spelled Atai. Oya, a lot of y'all know who Oya is. Oya. Kakagui, that is not a goddess, but nonetheless, research them. Kaka dash Guie. Unkulunkulu, okay, that is another entity that's a masculine. That is spelled UNKUNLUNKULU, okay. Research and meditate for divine, okay, research and meditate for goddess divine ascension, okay. So even if you're not a feminine, you can still research and meditate with these particular entities to learn about the ascension that is happening as the collective. This is not only for the feminines, okay, as far as our ascension. We just happen to be the forefront of the ascension because we've heard of the matriarchy, okay? I did address the false matriarchy propaganda, okay? There's a difference between what a lot of these people are saying about the matriarchy and the divine feminine energy rising versus what's actually happening. That is a play into the ego for a lot of males. That's a play into the feminine ego in order for them to gain something from the feminines that are learning from them. It is the truth. Nonetheless, a lot of these people with, teaching platforms are not genuine in their belief of how things are supposed to operate. So me being a matriarch of Generation Z, I am one of the elders of Generation Z. I am also a mother. I'm able to see things from my perspective, having I believe it's my Pluto's in Sagittarius. And so I'm looking at every single generation like this, okay? I'm able to see every single generation. I'm able to see the baby boomers. I'm able to see Generation X. I'm able to see millennials. I'm able to see Generation Z. I'm able to see Generation Alpha. I'm able to see them with my actual eyes. Okay. If this is how things currently are, this is what needs to change in order for things to go better. Because do I have the solution? Sure. Is everybody going to participate in my solutions? Absolutely not. I've witnessed that firsthand on the ground with people over the past few years. There's videos of me doing so. And people are just not going to go with actionable solutions that make sense. All I can do at this point, instead of, trying to put the horse's mouth in the water bucket, I'm just going to have a nice water trough and allow the water to be available for the horse and just lead them to the water. So, people want to homeschool. Here's information on how to do that. People want to learn about still making money and still being high vibrational. Here's an ebook to learn how to do that and the opportunity to teach your children the same thing. And so, in this reference right here, this is 2 Kings 4. The widow's pot of oil. So for my reformed Christians out there, like a lot of us, like I grew up as a Basically, I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, and so I'm like that in every part of my life. So I was a Bible geek, and so learning about certain stories in the Bible was like one of my favorite things, because even if you don't believe them as history, as actual events, this stuff is very, very realistic and happens today. So we have the widow's pot of oil. I'm going to read a few scriptures and then I'm going to skip around to get to the plot of the story. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elijah, saying, Thy servant my husband is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my two sons to be bondmen. Y'all think collect calls are new? This is scripture. She said, the creditor is come to take unto him my two sons to be bondmen. Them collect calls that we experience are nothing new. They was knocking on doors. We got it easy. We get a couple letters in the mail. We get a couple of phone calls, a couple of emails. We just ignore them. And if you know what to do, you contact them back and let them know, hey, I'm not doing that. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in thy house? And she said, Thy handmaid hath not anything in the house save a pot of oil. Now here's the thing that's unfortunate. She was, it says, a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets. Okay, I'm assuming, I'm not sure if that means there is a collective of wives or there's one particular person who had multiple wives. I'm not sure. But her dude died and he did not leave behind generational wealth. So now masculines, before I even continue, masculines, do you want to put your feminine into a position where you got kids and you die and now credit collectors are calling the crib and she can't afford to do nothing? As a masculine, think about your life decisions. Do you have a generational wealth plan before you get into a relationship? If you are in a relationship, if you already do have children, do you have a generational wealth plan? Do you have your will together? Do you have your life insurance together? Do you have a trust of some sort? Do you have any sort of assets? These are the important questions. The conversations of how a girl looks, if she's a 1 out of 10, if she's a 10 out of 10, that is so unimportant. Do you have your life together to where if anything happens to you, you don't have to die? But let's say you can't work for 5 years because of some sort of accident that happens, and so you're physically impaired. Is your family still able to be taken care of? That's what you need to focus on as a masculine if you're considering yourself to be a high value male. Okay. Then he said, Go and borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels. Borrow not a few. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So I'm going to skip around a little bit. So she's borrowing the she's borrowing the vessels for oil. Okay, she's eventually going to sell that oil to pay her debts. And so now there's another story in this part. Let me see. Am I going to read this? Okay, there's another really good story here that's in the same chapter. It's 2 Kings 4. So I recommend reading the whole chapter, but I'm going to finish the story here. So she went from him and shut the door upon her and her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. And she came and told the man of God. And he said, Go sell the oil and pay thy debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest. So that was a miracle. That was like magic that happened, where she got a bunch of empty vessels and she was able to pour a whole bunch of oil into the vessels, and she was able to sell the oil and use the profits to pay down her debt, pay off her debt, and her sons could live in peace at that point. Okay, so a prophet had to tell her to do that. Again, masculines. Do you have a lady in position to take over your business? So if anything was to happen, she could take your investments or your business and still be able to profit from them. Are you, as a masculine, are you, as a high value male, putting your feminine into position where her and your children can take over whatever sort of income you have created and produced in order for them to fulfill what is considered to be generational wealth? Are you doing that? Is that in place? Because you run the world. We have started having all these conversations about business, about relationships, about crashing the system, and people have missed the whole point of how do we apply this information into our actual lives. Firefly said, "Wow, yes, yes, it's it's deeper than being on the surface of, oh, the Matrix is a lie." Well, of course. Now that we know that, how do we use the lie to our advantage in order to get out of operating in the lie? Of course, we act with integrity. We act with integrity. Is everyone else going to act with integrity? That's not a guarantee. You attract others who act with integrity. That's what you do. However, are the masses going to act with integrity? No. That's simply the truth. That's simply how it is. So I'm going to read a little bit that's in the homeschool kit itself. So on the title page here, you can see this on my website. Everything is linked in my About tab on the channel. Hashtag New Age Investing Homeschool Kit. Learn high vibrational investing with the entire family. This kit includes practical scenarios for parents to successfully teach their children about investing as a high vibrational being. Depending on age and skill, children and teens could use this kit to self-learn and teach their siblings, extended family, and friends. This kit includes a coupon code for a copy of the NFTs and real estate and hashtag New Age Investing ebooks, a coupon code for the BDRE All Access Plan, and strategies to develop businesses and portfolios while vibrating at a high frequency. And it's just telling you how you can print it out if you want to and put it in a binder like this. I do have an option where you can buy it where I already pre-put it in a binder and I can ship it to you, but you can get it instantly if you get the e-version and make your own binder. I'll talk a little bit about the astrology thing because astrology is so important. So there's a segment on here in the science part, and it's called Planets, Astronomy, and Astrology. All right, so it says pay attention to the elements associated with each planet: air, Mercury, Gemini, Venus, Libra, Saturn and Uranus, Aquarius; fire, Mars, Aries; sun, Leo; Jupiter and Neptune, Sagittarius; water, Moon, Cancer; Mars and Pluto, Scorpio; Jupiter and Neptune, Pisces; earth, Venus, Taurus; Virgo, Mercury, Saturn, Capricorn. This is how the homeschool kit is set up so you and your children can learn these things. And also, happy Friday, happy Venus Day, happy Taurus and Libra Day. Okay, that's what we got the green going on here. Got the pinks. Okay. And we also have the chart for the year. We have the planetary chart as far as the zodiac signs, the planets it's associated with, the months of the years associated with, and then there's a breakdown of the seasons. We have the time periods and the Hebrew name for each zodiac sign. So for example, Aries is March. Mars, the planet Mars, the solar plexus chakra, it's 6 to 8 a.m. So that time period, and that name in Hebrew is Abib. Taurus is the month April, starts in the month April. Planet Venus, heart chakra, 8 to 10 a.m. In the Hebrew, it is Ziph. Okay. Gemini starts in the planet starts in the month of May. Planet Mercury, the throat chakra, is 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and that is Zephon in Hebrew. Okay. So all that is broken down in a chart in the homeschool kit. And then with the seasons is broken down. Spring is Aries, March through April. Taurus, April through May. Gemini, May through June. So it's everything that you learn in school. You learn the months of the year, you learn the seasons, you learn the planets. In the hashtag New Age Investing Homeschool Kit, you learn how to apply that to your spirituality. And even if you're not, if you don't profess Yahshua, if you don't acknowledge the Hebrew Israelite faith, learning Hebrew is very, very important because who run the world? I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to say too much. Okay, and then when we get to the investing part, when people hear investing without added context, the mind tends to go to corporate males in suits arguing at a round table. Well, you can invest from your bedroom in your pajamas. While we are discussing math and investing finances, the best investment you can make is in yourself. You can invest in your education, your health, spiritual growth, mental health, family life, and business skills. You invested in yourself and your family by acquiring this homeschool kit. Concerning mathematical financial investments, it's imperative to learn about, and then it goes into specifics about things you can apply to your math skills. So if you have kids who are learning about fractions, that's finance with the dollars and even cryptocurrency. Certain types of formulas, that's algebra 2. Okay, you have things of that structure. So we have compound interest, APY, dividends, capital gains, cash flow, appreciation and depreciation, profits and losses, assets and liabilities. Okay? And so then at the end, it's closing out on how you can use creative writing to learn these things. Refer back to your creative writing assignments in the language arts segment. So before we got to the investing, I skipped around. Over here, we have intro, spirituality, science, nutrition. Oh, that's part of science. And then we have language arts, where everything is broken down by numerology. The chart here explains how each letter, separated by consonant and vowel, has its own number, numerology. And then it breaks down like a little bit of Hebrew too. It doesn't have a full-on Hebrew chart, but it still mentions it. Then creative writing, it says start by finding what you like to do. So this is why the homeschool kit is set the way that it is. It is not a cookie cutter aspect of teaching. Everybody's creative, everybody's different, especially talking about something like New Age, even investing. Every investor is very, very unique. That's why, when you hear about traders and people getting burnt out, and it's like, that's because they're doing something that someone else told them to do. They're not doing what they want to do. Okay? Start by finding what you like to do. Poetry, short stories, essays, project summaries, novels. People could be like, oh, well, who likes to do essays? Well, look at these people who make these super, super long Facebook posts. Or people who have Reddit forums. People who are on Tumblr. They like essays. They like to do research papers. So that's how they can learn. That's how they can, you learn a concept and you write a paper on it. There you go. You might not want to write a full-on research paper. You may want to be more artistic with it and write a short story or a poem. Whatever your children like to do, you do it with your children too. But whatever your children like to do, that is how you learn better. So refer back to your creative writing assignments in the language arts segment. Be sure to utilize these terms when writing essays and project summaries about certain industries. Be sure to learn about commodities, real estate, and blockchain technology. These industries are possible for you to invest in at any price. Commodities are great for applying to your spiritual practice, math skills, English skills, and social studies information. Okay? So that's just a little bit of not just what's in the homeschool kit, but what we need to do as high vibrational beings, regardless. Whether you get my particular kit or not, you still need to be doing these things. This is not for, people to hop on a trend of some sort as far as knowing who we are. Who you are is who you are. We're going to be this until we die. And after we die, our children are going to continue to be that. We're going to be the new ancestors. They're going to be our descendants. It's the same exact thing over and over again. This is who we are. So now we have to adapt to what the Matrix is doing. I mentioned blockchain technology. That's the new thing now. Before, no one had to learn about what the United States dollar is. That didn't exist before. Now we have to learn about blockchain technology and Web3. That's science and finance with cryptocurrency. Okay? So it gives you base level information on how you can expand and expound on those topics. So in the social studies part, from spirituality to investing in commodities, studying the socials of society can be a great part of your life. What are the origins of the society of your spiritual / religious system? What was their culture like? What foods did they eat? How is their marriage and family system organized? What languages did they speak? How are your ancestors associated with them? Okay. That's all the stuff that we learn about on these platforms, right? So it's important to take all the information that we're learning and apply it to our lives and make sure that our children get it. Because even kids that go to church, a lot of kids, I was a nerd. A lot of kids don't read the Bible. They don't know. A lot of adults don't read the Bible. They don't know. So how can we keep saying that we believe what we believe in and we've evolved past certain aspects of religion when we know that the patterns of religion are continuing in people's spiritual lives? Not taking certain things seriously, not continuing to research beyond what someone else is teaching. Okay, that is why it's set up that way. It's not just, oh, here's the answer, copy and paste and pass the test. No, there's no test formats in my homeschool kit. There is no testing. It's a continued learning. Anybody at any age level can use that homeschool kit. From kindergarten, really preschool, because it's the alphabet and numbers in it, all the way to college. Really, adults can use it. That's the thing about homeschooling. When you are talking about grasping a concept and comprehension, is deeper than just what's the right answer so I can pass the test. It is, what is the right answer so I can learn for my life? Firefly said, that's right, our masculine supposed to be our protectors and providers. Happy Friday. I love taking care of the babies and the elderlies, always have. That's dope. I love that. And so when taking that into consideration, is deeper than, just being sent to an institution just to learn some stuff that you're probably not going to use later in life. We're always going to need to know what day it is. We're always going to need to know what season it is. We're always going to need to know what planet is associated with what. That is knowledge that is necessary for life. That's not, how can I pass this grade? That's just life. It's just life. Okay? And so I'm going to mention a couple more things before I go. These here, okay. I gotta review some things. Tomorrow is Libra season. Libra season starts, okay? So we're already in the Libra energy today, okay, with the big Venus day. So now we're going into Venus season tomorrow. So we're here welcoming the Libra season. Hello, Libras. I Libra moon. So hey, how you doing? Okay. Okay, I'm being called to say a couple more things here. Not this one. All right. Digital nomad gypsy. #work. As creative entrepreneurs and investors, we utilize technology for income and opportunities. By developing this lifestyle apart from a solidified location for work, we travel and homeschool our children in high quality ways. We develop passive income and multiple streams of it by creating income, investing it, and redistributing finances back into those endeavors. When living in tropical and or off-grid locations, being a digital nomad is ideal as we are far from mainstream society. As spiritual beings maneuvering through the matrix, we are digital nomad gypsies. We fulfill our sole purpose with our businesses and by traveling to locations that are beneficial to the divine mission. So, y'all know, like mission trips and stuff like that. People go to build schools, people go to help these communities and stuff like that. Okay, we're the exact same. Some of us, we may not do projects like building schools and doing things like that. We may set up gardens to help people be able to have food for themselves and like transporting healthy soil that is still sustainable in that particular environment, creating artificial streams and areas of water so they can have clean water to environments, like stuff like that. Even going to a location to meditate, have an entire week of hour-long meditations to raise the vibration collectively of that area. That's what a lot of us do. That is the type of job that we have for the universe. It may not be building a school, building an orphanage like these, certain organizations do, and that's okay. However, when you're doing what you are called to do you still have the finances in order to sustain doing that for a long period of time outside of donations? A lot of these organizations only exist by donation alone. And me personally, I don't think that's safe. That's not sustainable. There needs to be some sort of investments backing what's going on versus people being generous. At least in the time period that we're in now, maybe it could work back then. But now it's so many things happening to where it's just not, it doesn't make any sense to be completely trusting in outside sources for financing. There needs to be something outside of the donations and the kindness of people's hearts to make sure that certain things are sustained, especially when you're talking about your livelihood. This is you living. This is your children, riding with you. These are your children living with you. This is your children with you. You have to make sure that they're taken care of while you're taking care of the planet. Firefly said, my G baby is a Libra. Yes, beautiful Libras. Yes, Libras. Yeah, I have a sibling that's a Libra, and it's just a beautiful energy to have. And so while we're going into Libra season, this is the transitional period for the entire year. We're going into the last quarter of the year as well. I won't talk about that too much, but since we're talking about business, you have to pay attention to the last quarter. The last quarter is what's going to set you up for the first quarter. So go ahead and start whatever you want to implement into your business or your investing strategy, whatever the case may be. Whatever you want to implement for the new year, you start on it in the last quarter of the previous year. So you get started on everything in October or before then, but at least October of the previous year. So then by the time January comes up, it won't be a trying to get things together. It won't be an effort to try to put things into place. It's just, okay, I'm ready, let's go, because I already prepared for this 3 months ago. Okay? In these locations, we develop our Rolodex network with other people and their businesses. Moving into this developed age, it's wise to solidify a network with those in the industries, real estate, development, and investment, registered investment advisory, whole life insurance for utilizing your policy during your lifetime, private equity and fund management, food and produce distribution, and blockchain technology. I'll touch on that a little bit. Everybody's always going to need real estate all the time. You eat somewhere, you sleep somewhere, you work somewhere. Okay, so it's just smart to get into an industry that's needed. Registered investment advisory. Now that's for high level finance individuals. Okay, a lot of people probably never heard of an RIA. I never heard of an RIA until earlier this year. I was like, I've never heard of that before, and I've been in real estate for 6 years. What's an RIA? So I had to learn about that. That is a registered investment advisory. Okay, take notes during these videos. This is not a virtual business meeting, so this will be available after 24 hours at the same time. This is the type of stuff we talk about in a virtual business meeting. So if you would like to join our membership, You can click the link in the pinned comment on the video, or it's in the description box. Private equity and fund management. Who runs the world? Who runs the world? Who runs the world? Who operates this matrix? Who's pushing the buttons? Who's making the decisions? And what industries are they in? Okay? What industries are they in? All right? These are the questions that we are asking ourselves. These are the questions that we need to ask about who do we need to have in our corner and our network for business purposes. Okay? And whole life insurance and like using your policy while you're still alive. That is something you need to learn about. A book that I do recommend is What Would the Rockefellers Do by Garrett Gunderson. Highly recommend that book. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. There's a difference between the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers, okay? Those two families, sure, they acquired a similar amount of wealth. However, the Rockefellers are wealthy in their families. The Vanderbilts are famous. They're famous. So they have a network. The Rockefellers are still wealthy. Money in their bank accounts, money in their investments. They have assets. And blockchain technology. That's the new thing. And it's just like the internet. It is the Web3 is another aspect of the internet. So the same way internet came around, the same way new internet came around, social media and stuff came around with Web2, Web3 is a different aspect of that. So that's blockchain technology. And of course, food and produce distribution. Everybody's always going to need food. Not everybody's going to garden. Not everybody's going to farm. Not everybody's going to have a homestead. So commodity investing in different food items. All right, you learn the industries and get to know the people in those industries. Add those people to your network. Okay, who run the world? What do people use every day? Food, water. Okay, get to know those people. Michael Johnson said, who run the world? Some like a big baby. Okay. Firefly said, music industry, yes. However, music is not a necessity. That's the only thing about that industry. Like, that's entertainment and it is popular. What I'm stressing in these areas is what is absolutely necessary. Not necessarily what everybody uses because they want to. What is absolutely necessary. If it comes down to a person who only has $5, right? Are they going to spend that $5 on their next meal, or are they going to spend that $5 buying music? Whether they buy it online, like with Apple Music, Google Music, Google Play, or they're fulfilling their like YouTube Music subscription, whatever sources they use, their Spotify subscription for music. Are they going to spend it on that, or are they going to spend it on food if it comes down to it? So that's the difference. Like, music is necessary like if you're in that industry, but it's not a necessity. That's not something that someone needs to live life. So that's what I was stressing for these particular ones. Outside of those industries, it's smart to build your own Rolodex network in your chosen field of interest. So that's where the music will come in if you're into entertainment, okay? Have conversations, exchange services, promote each other's products and business, and recommend each other's services to your clients if they will assist them. Your income is distributed into investments that provide you passive income. A simple form of this is dividend-paying stocks. Companies and brands we use daily also pay investors periodically. By choosing brands you utilize on a daily basis to invest in, you get paid throughout the year from that same company. So if you invest in something like Spotify, like Apple, like YouTube or whatever on the stock market, they have the potential of paying you dividends. Now, not every company pays out dividends. I don't think Apple pays dividends. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but at this particular time period, I don't think so, as far as September 2023. And so you can invest in those things and they can pay you throughout the year through the stock market, utilizing dividend investments, okay? And so that is a way to make income from that aspect. Okay, I got you. Yeah, yep. And so, but at the same time, outside of those industries, it's smart to build your Rolodex network in your chosen field of interest. So it's highly important if you're, like I said, if you're into entertainment, you want to get to know music producers, you want to get to know, even movie directors or music video directors. You want to get to know people who do the makeup and whatever sort of cosmetic, anything that people use on music video sets. People who put together concerts, people who own clubs, or people who own different instrument companies. So if someone is a synthesizer distributor, yeah, synthesizer distributor, that's a whole lot right there. If they sell synthesizers, if they sell DJ equipment, if they sell headphones, if they sell speakers, you want to get into the depth of it, into the depth. Who creates and who makes the speakers? Who is working for the speaker company? Who works for Sony? Forget the Sony CEO. I mean, he cool and all, but who works for Sony? Who works for Sony and is getting in contact with the stores to sell Sony products? Who's the one doing that? Where are they importing their materials from? Get in touch with the merchandisers. It's thinking deeper than just who is on the magazine, who is the artist, who is the person. Think about the behind the scenes person. Because, like, take theater for example. You see the actors on stage, you see that they rehearse their lines and they're using their lines. Okay, somebody got their costume, somebody did their hair, somebody did their makeup, somebody's doing the lighting, somebody wrote the script. Somebody told them how to do their lines and how to have their emotions. Somebody promoted the play, the show. There's people doing concessions outside. Runway shows, modeling. The model is wearing someone's clothes, has someone else's makeup done, and has some sort of style that someone did on their hair and is wearing somebody's shoes. Who did the shoes? Who made the shoes? Who's the designer of the outfit? Who's the hairstylist? Who's the makeup artist? Who put the show on? Who's an investor in the show? Who's doing the lighting? Who's doing the music in the background? That's what this concept is. Even if we choose stocks outside of our usual brands, we invest in things like ETFs, exchange traded funds, and REITs, real estate investment trust, for real estate payments distributed as dividend income. So if you are a renter, right, someone is making money outside of your landlord. Very likely. If you rent an apartment, it's highly likely that your landlord is getting money and someone that's also an external investor is getting money every time you pay rent. Now, you can get in on that through the stock market utilizing ETFs and REITs, real estate ETFs, real estate investment trusts, okay? ETFs can be a combination of other industries as well. This provides us with partial ownership of companies and properties along with a percentage of the income we invest. By grinding in our businesses and putting active income away into these forms of passive income investments, we are able to build a portfolio that covers our lifestyle costs. Now, ladies, we talked about this a little bit in the previous stream. So any of the videos that are in this particular time period talking about femininity and, evolving as a feminine, as a lady, that's what we're talking about from the feminine perspective. So y'all go check those out, okay? Our dividend payments and passive income provide a stabilized lifestyle. By our portfolios producing income to cover base bills and expenses, we can focus more on our passions and sole purpose, serving the divine mission. As a digital nomad gypsy, it's possible to live the dream as a spiritual being. A laptop, a tablet, and cell phones now provide the perfect portable workstation. Living in a home on wheels while working is a fun and liberating lifestyle. It's all about creating your finances through your business and distributing those funds into passive income investments, okay? And so the example that I gave in the stream on femininity, right? I said think about making $2,000 a month. Okay. Firefly said, okay. So think about $2,000 a month, right? So the difference between a lady having a job and making $2,000 a month is different from a lady having her own business and making $2,000 a month. That's also different from her husband. If she's a kempt housewife, her husband can provide her with $2,000 a month. That's different too. However, what about $2,000 a month that you don't have to work for? You still get the $2,000 a month. You're not clocking into a job. You're not working on your business. All you have to do is check some stats. Check a couple of reports. Mark this here, mark that there. Go on your laptop for a few minutes, and that's it. Every single month. That's it. Every month. $2,000 a month. All you have to do is go over some paperwork. So you're telling me that people work 40 hours a week to make $2,000 a month. You're telling me that people put in this amount of effort into their business to make $2,000 a month. But there's other people who put in at the most 2 hours of work in a month to get $2,000 a month. That is passive income. Same amount of money, different amount of time and effort to receive the money. Okay? So once you grasp that concept and you fully evolve to an abundance mindset, both as a masculine and a feminine, comprehending the concept of passive income versus working and grinding and putting forth effort and doing all this stuff to get money, things become a lot. It's not necessarily easier. It's just different. Crystal says so many gems here. Greatly appreciate you. Greatly appreciate you. And that is what I have been expressing to our community for a few years now. A lot of our people still don't really get that we're still cogs in a machine. Every time you buy a product, that person that made the product isn't the only one that made money. Even plastic distributors made money. This is not just the lash glue people making the money. The person who made this cardboard made the money. The person who made this plastic made the money. What companies made this cardboard and this plastic? Let me go put some money away into their company so I can get dividend payments from them. Because are they exclusive customers to this lash glue company? Maybe, but they may have hundreds of clients that they provide these cardboard boxes for, that they provide this plastic for. Let me go and invest, get in tune with the boring businesses. What's the most boring thing you could think of? Cardboard? Go invest in a cardboard company. It's boring. It makes money. Doesn't matter how boring it is. There's nothing against having flashy things. I know a lot of our people like to have clothing lines. We like to be stylists. We like to do all the fun stuff. We like to be entertainers and artists, and that's all great. That can be our profession, but we need to get this passive income. Every single dollar we make does not need to come from sweating and putting forth energy. Every single dollar we make does not need to come from us having to talk to people all the time. Our income needs to just be because we put our money to work. Does it take time? Yes, of course it takes time to build these things up. Does it take money? Yes, of course it takes money to build these things up. It's a constant effort to build your portfolio, having conversations about a portfolio, opening up your vocabulary and making that regular conversation. Why do you think they are so much more ahead of us? This is what they speak about at their dinner tables. This is regular, everyday conversation for them. This is not taboo. This is not only to speak about at tax time. No. This is regular, everyday life. How can I put my money to work? by our portfolios producing income to cover base bills and expenses, we can focus more on our passions and sole purpose serving the divine mission. So, the other example that I gave in the stream earlier for feminines, okay? So, feminines, y'all make sure y'all go watch that if you don't watch it already. So, I gave the example of buying a 12 unit apartment complex, okay? So, you could have a loan on it, maybe. Even if you don't, you pay cash for it, cool. So, 12 units, let's say you're profiting $300 per unit. That's $3,600 a month passively. All you got to do is check on your tenants every single month. If something needs to be repaired, you call the repair guy, fix it. Or you're not doing that, and part of your expenses is property management. That means you literally don't have to do anything. You have a property manager and they take the expenses out of the rent. And that's probably already covered if your cash flow is $300 per unit. That's the purpose of hiring a property management company. The person paying the rent, they're not just paying for the fact that the landlord is a landlord. They're paying the taxes. They're paying the property manager's salary. They're paying the construction people. They're paying all sorts of things. What company did we get the bricks from? Let me go buy some stock in those bricks. Let me go buy some stock in the lumber company that we use to repair this apartment building with. You got to think on every single aspect. What paint company did we use? Did we use Behr? Let's go invest in Behr. Let's go invest in Lowe's. Let's go invest in Home Depot. Passive money. There's multiple ways to get passive income to where if you are a contractor, you don't have to go work on an apartment unit to get paid. You can also invest in the tools you use. If you bought all your hardware materials from Lowe's, you better own some Lowe's stock. You better own some Home Depot stock. If you go to your local hardware store, they may not have a stock option. However, the items that they still sell at that hardware store, what company made the hammer? What company made the drill? What company makes the nails? Invest in those companies. We as a collective have to fully evolve our mindsets to be able to think on these levels. When you're constantly trying to figure out how you're going to get your next dollar, you don't have enough time to think about things like this. So once you put your money to work and you don't have to think so much about how to get the money because your money's already working, then you have plenty of time to think and do whatever you want. You can focus on the divine mission at that point. So like I was saying, you may not be going to different countries to build schools and stuff like that, but you're still impacting people. You're still making a difference for the planet, even if you don't interact with people. If your job in the divine mission is to go to a river, go to a beach, go to some body of water, and you're picking up trash, you're not getting paid for it. How are you going to sustain your livelihood doing that? You develop passive income streams. This has nothing to do with racism. This has nothing to do with oppression. Nobody has to see what your face looks like in order to invest. You just put your money in the thing, you push the button and you go. You get money. If you hire a property management company to manage your apartment complex, there's no racism there. It's just money. It's just money. That's the mental conflict that our people have been in for so long of not realizing what money is. It's always, I can't get this job because this company's racist, or my business isn't growing because my clientele is racist. Okay, you do with that what you need to do. You fix your target audience. You cater it to people who are going to accept you no matter how you look. Okay, you learn about investing so you don't have to worry about how you look at all. Like I said in the homeschool kit, you can invest in your pajamas. You can invest at your crib, at your house. This is not as complicated as a lot of our people are making it seem to be. It just takes education, discipline, and financial sacrifice in the beginning. Okay, you get a lump sum of money. Everybody want to get like several $1,000s and just, oh, I'm gonna go spend it on this. I'm gonna go spend it on that. I'm gonna come in the room and I'm gonna say, you get your ass a pair of Jordans, you better buy at least $100 worth of stock in Nike. You go spend $250. on them shoes, you better at least have $350 ready, because that 250 on them shoes, you need to put 100 into into Nike stock. I'm not finna be their friend to just let you waste money. I have cut people off because they're so financially irresponsible with the fact that we are, higher vibrational beings. Like, if it's just like a regular financially irresponsible person, that's fine. But if we're supposed to be on a mission together, we're supposed to be making these plans and that plans, and you are not financially sound, I can't have you around me. How are we supposed to take care of the planet? How are we supposed to go on missions both in the higher realms and in the third dimension and in the C dimensions? How are we supposed to do that if you can't keep $1 in your pocket? Take that several thousands of dollars, go invest it in something. Go put it somewhere so that it can make money for you. Even if you're just holding it, you're buying silver and gold, palladium, platinum, rhodium. At least it can hold the vibration of wealth for you to manifest more wealth. That's how we need to think about these gems and stones and crystals, as well as the health benefits that we get from them. Okay, this is not like money is magic. It's all of it's magic. All of it. Even with it being Heart Chakra Day, I wrote some bars in this one song that I haven't released yet. But the bar goes, playing on your heart chakra, that's why they make cash green as grass. Playing on your heart chakra, that's why they make cash green as grass. That's why the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. When you love money for money's sake itself, that's taking over your heart space and you can't focus on nothing else. You just spend the money to make you feel better. When you spend the money on boring stuff and then you have automatic payments in your bank account, then you don't care about money anymore. Because it's always going to flow to you. You're always abundant. This is the mindset that the rulers of the world have, which is why they don't care about nothing. They don't care about nothing. Because why? They're always going to have $1 in their pocket. All right, I'm going to read y'all's comments. Freethinker said, just got home. Exactly. The more trustworthy tenants, the more money you make to provide. Crystal said, exactly. One of my homeschool lessons is solely based on using passive income streams to pay for our lifestyle and keep investing. I love that so much. That's the best. That's the base. Freethinker said, this what makes me cry. We don't get it. I know it's not enough people that look like us speak on things like this. A lot of our people speak on hustling and grinding. And so once we can get past that the conversation of hustling and grinding, and we can get into being more soft, we can get into being more passive and have our income do the same thing and just work for us rather than us work for money, then it's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. That new song coming out for Libra season. I'm so serious. That's real. That's real. I have a song called Okay coming out. We're gonna be okay. It's coming out at midnight. Crystal said, I had to fall flat on my ass and be broke before I actually took time to invest in myself and bring my ideas to fruition. Same. Like I'm talking about the amount of reflection that we are. It's on a whole different level. But here's the thing. If you listen to those success stories with like millionaire people, multimillionaires and billionaires, like they say things, whether people believe it or not, like with Elon Musk, right? He said he was couch surfing not too long ago after he had sold PayPal, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, if someone's a multimillionaire and they're couch surfing, what does that say? It means that they're not going to spend their money. Okay, if he wanted to have a mansion after selling PayPal, he could have put several millions of dollars into having a mansion, into having the fancy car. He could have did that. Instead, he decided to put it into new businesses. Whether you think highly of his businesses or not, he put his money into his businesses rather than his lifestyle. Then, once he got the money that he wanted, then he started investing into his personal lifestyle. Now he popping out kids like Nick Cannon. Y'all better pay attention. Freethinker said people make it about race. That is really a crutch now. It's a crutch and it's an excuse. Before in the day, back in the day, you did have to go into the bank. You did have to do certain things unless you worked on Wall Street. Even getting a Wall Street job, it was racism. But now we sit behind these screens. Don't nobody gotta know what we look like. You could build a whole brand faceless. Nobody will know what color you are. It's a cop out. It's an excuse. Nowadays, it really is. Crystal said, I was too worried about friends and family, aka relationships. Please don't do it like me, people. Do it ASAP, even if it's on your own. I'm gonna say it like this, Crystal, because you and me, like, we're very, very similar. I was already doing it before I became broke. At the same time, I had to become extra broke for me to really get into the full on mindset of certain things. Because, like, some people need tragedy to happen to wake them up. I was already awake. I was already aware of certain things, but in order for me to get to a level, I'm gonna say it like this: like, the income I make now, growing. I'm gonna say my growing income now is not what a lot of people my age would experience. Having the brands that I have at my age are not anything anybody would experience. Having the experience of making several thousands of dollars at one particular time in one deal is not something that the average 19-year-old is going to do. So it had to happen extreme for me to be able to get to the point where I could have a teaching platform. And I'm not going to get into this too much, but I remember we were having some sort of conversation when I was live on Instagram before, and some guy was in the comments like, I'm going to start a platform for this or blah, blah, blah. And even on this channel, somebody was talking about they're going to start a community for this and that. It's like, you got to do stuff for yourself. Don't be out here trying to start a community when you have not accomplished things. The only reason I was able to start my platforms is because I've already had the experience. What's the point of me sitting up and making videos about gardening if I don't have my garden myself, if I've never planted anything and grown it and eaten it myself? What's the point of talking about entrepreneurship if I've never had a business or built a brand and made money myself? What's the point of sitting up here talking about passive investments and passive income streams with y'all if I have not done it myself? If I didn't have information about the dividend payments that I just got recently in my account, if that was not existent, I would not have a right to speak about these things with y'all. But these dudes want to come in my comment section talking about, I'm going to start a platform for this, I'm going to start a community for that. Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself first. If you're going to do a platform, that's a calling. Don't do the platform to get attention. Do it for yourself in your home. Goddess is doing it for herself in her home, for her children first. People get too wrapped up in having the attention of something rather than being it, actually embodying it. Calling yourself a god, a goddess, an emperor, an empress, a king or queen. Do you have king or queen money? Okay, shut up. And then they begin stuck on the money word and be like, oh, life's not about money. Shut up. Because you can't do what you want to do. If you wanted to go travel to Australia, if you wanted to go travel to Zimbabwe, if you wanted to go travel to Paris, if you wanted to go travel to Ecuador, you can't go because you can't afford it. No, we're done with that. We're done with that over here. Over here, on this platform, we're done with that. We're not Pass Pro girls. We're not passport gals or anything like that. No, we don't support the passport bro movement of trying to find a spouse in a different country. That's not what we're talking about. We are traveling. We are experiencing. We are world schooling. We're homeschooling and we are world schooling. Our children learn internationally, okay? This is what we're doing. This is not about building a platform to get followers. Okay, you can get money without having followers. I have made way more money with my smaller platforms than I have with these ones over here where I have the most clout. I have the most clout on my Instagram where a lot of y'all know me from. My other Instagram page has way less followers. That YouTube channel has way less subscribers. The group is pretty big on Facebook, but still, it's not as interactive. It's all straight business. Freethinker said money equals tools, period. People lack awareness. They do. And they're content with the system, so they're not worried because they swear it's still gonna be here. The people making all these shoes are in sweatshops barefooted. LMAO. That's true too. Firefly said, Freethinker, you sure know what to say. Freethinker said, Firefly, thanks. Glad you noticed. It's so simple, and yet we still don't get it because we're spoiled. Black people do not want to admit that they're spoiled. They don't want to admit it. Because it's, oh, no, white privilege. You're not. Okay, you pick up a book and you read about what the privileged people can do now. You can read now. In today's time, you can read now. You're allowed to read now for free. You can go to the library and read for free. You can go online and you can read for free. They make videos now. You can sign up to their email list. You can sign up to their newsletters. You can watch their videos. Like, there's no excuse anymore. And they don't want to accept the fact that we're not giving them any more excuses as the collective here. They don't like the fact that we're holding them accountable. So y'all can listen to Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit and not apply the things that actually matter. All those guys spoke on business. They did. They all spoke on business to some extent and improving yourself as a masculine. Yet instead of improving themselves as a masculine, they took the talking and the conversation pieces about degrading and speaking bad about women instead of go getting a bag themselves. Or they started their own platforms also talking bad about women. How does that make sense? How does that help anybody? If you're actually going to do the thing, go actually be and do the thing. Make 6 figures? You can do that easy in real estate. That's the easiest thing to do. Learn about the bird dog stuff, and then you become a wholesaler, close 10 deals worth $10,000. You can do that in 2 years. You can do that. You can figure out how to close your first deal within several months, and then you just apply that, and then you systemize that. 6 figures, 2 years. Easy. Does that always happen? No. It takes a special kind of person to make something like that happen in 2 years. You may not get to the 6-figure level until you're 5 years in. And that is okay. Everyone's on their own journey. It's okay to not have things as quickly as you would like to have them. Everything is a journey. While you're getting started in your real estate career, you can invest in real estate investment trusts and real estate ETFs on the stock market. So you're already making passive income in real estate while you're building up your real estate business in order to be able to buy something like an apartment building or several multifamily units or your own commercial building to where you can make passive income. Okay? It's really not difficult. It's not. It just takes an abundance and wealth, prosperity mindset. Freethinker said, I've been said all we have to do is act like we're still asleep and play these motherfuckers. Who run the world? Okay, just do what they do. And don't say nothing. Just, oh, hello, hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, it's very nice to meet you. Oh, I'm just a beginner in real estate, and I just wanted to know, what's your investment strategy on the... Oh, okay, you only invest in apartment, let me get... You only invest in apartment buildings that are at least 200 units? Okay, why do you do that? Oh, it gives you a higher ROI. Okay, and then you also do the BRRR method. What's the BRRR method? What's that? You buy the property, you rent it out, then you refinance it, and then you repeat. So that's why it's BRR. Okay, so BRRR, you spelled the BRR. Okay. So you refinance, you take the equity out of the property, and you use that equity for cash, liquid, and then you buy another property, and then you do the same thing. Okay. No, that's so very interesting, Mr. Johnson. I love that. That is a great. I'm just a beginner. I just got started, a year ago, and I just Oh, so you work with that investment firm? Are they a hedge fund? I've heard about hedge funds before, but I don't know what that is. So you don't work with the hedge funds, like with the financing aspect. You provide the properties for them on that. And do you know the finance people, the financier people that issue the loans? You know what's their phone number? You got their phone, their email address, and their website. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'll give them a call, and let me make sure I spelled your name right. You said how you spell your first name, Mr. Johnson. Okay, sure. Johnson. I'll make sure I let them know that you recommended me, and when I get my loan with them, then if they have a commission program, I will hope that they give you something, because I really appreciate this information. Do y'all know how easy this shit is? Bro, this shit easy. It's easy. All you gotta do is do it. What you scared for? Scared money don't make no money. You apply yourself, you learn this stuff, you don't fall into analysis paralysis, getting paralyzed by all that you're analyzing. You don't get stuck in learning about stuff. You go out there and you do it. Crystal said, too much passive aggression, not enough. Oh, too much passive aggression, not near enough passive income. Man, these niggas ain't got no passive income. They ain't got none. That's my problem with them. It's like, if they had the money and the income and the assets and stuff like that, it'd be like, okay, well, they could talk. Like Andrew Tate, he could low key talk shit. It is what it is with him. Kevin Samuels, he had built up his brand, so by the time he became the Godfather, that weirdo started calling him, it was like he could talk shit at that point because he's him and he was doing what he was doing. Fresh and Fit, they could never talk shit ever, even with their platform being as big as it was. Like, no. But you got to give it to a guy like Andrew Tate, despite his certain life decisions that he may have been involved in. It's like he had the business, he had the brand, he was already a celebrity, he was already an athlete, so you can't say nothing about a guy like Tate. You really, that's why I be minding my business when it comes to a lot of these guys. It's like, I'm gonna mind my business. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm mind my business because, like, I see what he got going on. A lot of y'all are just haters. I know he said some things that people don't like, but you don't have to go by every single thing a person says. That's that idolization shit. You're never going to agree with what anybody says, even if they're a spiritual teacher. You don't have to agree with everything I say. So if you don't have to agree with every single thing a person says, like, a lot of people may be uncomfortable with the fact that I am pretty much okaying and giving strategies for how females can pimp dudes. Maybe that might make some people uncomfortable. And if you would like to know that information, ladies, again, my femininity videos are up. The link is in the description box on how to do that. Somebody may hear that and be like, oh, well, that's just bad. Well, you don't know the context. But even if you did know the context, you still disagree with it. You just disagree with it. And that's fine. But if someone knows what they're talking about, if someone has been an example of what it is to do what it is they're doing, if they have the accolades, mind your business. Because they can afford to talk that way. Free thinkers said hustling and grinding is to make them money and not us. The thing is, we make the money and then we learn to use it for ourselves. Guess what I'm doing? Taking out loans to pay off loans and keep the cycle going to increase my credit score. I'm at a 570 plus now, but I see I still lack certain skills. Continue. I'm still broke, LOL. I just have loan money to keep myself afloat while the system's still operating. I'm actually going to talk about that in a video soon, of how to leverage credit, because people don't even know what you just said. I'm talking about the amount of gems. The amount of gems in that comment section. Like, you don't use credit and like loans to buy bullshit or to go on vacations. You can use that type of money and you can use that to invest. But I'm gonna close out this video. I'm finna read y'all's comments and then close it out because I'm low-key tired. Crystal said, absolutely. You're phenomenal for your age group. I'm so inspired and I'm chronologically older than you. I appreciate that so much. And it's just like the respect that I get from people who like are older than me, and like y'all are able to express not just the gratitude, but express how genuine it is. Because it's like, I know I've been through, a lot of people who were like 45 going on 50 years old haven't lived the life I've lived. I did the whole marriage and then the house and the 2 cars and the dog and the baby and the business. All of it crashed. A lot of people who are 45 going on 50 can't even say that. Now I'm getting divorced. Like, I lost everything. So Does a person have to go through that whole aspect of gaining everything and losing everything? Not everybody has to do that. If you listen to sound wisdom and sound knowledge and information beforehand, you can learn from the mistakes of other people. And I really appreciate when people who those younger than me yet, but the people who are older than me acknowledge that. I really do be appreciating it. Freethinker said, "Do anything for cloud." They do anything. Crystal had said, "I have ninth house Jupiter in Cancer, so I have to be financially stable and travel as much as possible." I feel that. Freethinker said, "It's going to be so amazing to see what it's like for money to be non-existent. LOL. I wonder what people going to be doing. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about starting a business or money. Period. But you see how it's relevant. So it's like I have to participate, or my next. Oops. No. I didn't mean to delete your comment. That was an accident. But my next big purchase will be a landlord. Simple as that. Real estate. Charge for using my lot." Dang it. I'm trying to put the comment back. I can't do it. That was my bad. Garden, parking, etc. Just enough to pay my cheap taxes for a year. Crystal said, "Freethinker, you better preach." No, period, though. Freethinker said, "I have one physical thing I desire to play right now, and it's a video game. LMAO, $80. That's all. After that, I really can't quit and live off the money I took out." Crystal, yup, LOL, and I'm just speaking how I see it. Period. Crystal said, "Ellie, put us on, coach. Thanks, Mr. Johnson." Yep. Go talk to Mr. Johnson at one of the networking meetings. He gonna tell you all the juice. Cause like he might be a little tipsy. You go to one of them raunchy, networking meetings with them investors, and they might have a little bit of wine, or the dudes might have a little bit of beer. He gonna be a little tipsy. He gonna tell you everything. He gonna tell you everything. To just play into that. Mr. Johnson, you say you spent how much on that apartment building? Okay. You say your tenants pay you how much? Is that what is regular in the market right now? Okay, that's regular market prices. Okay. And you said your property management company charges how much percent? They charge 2%. Isn't that kind of cheap? Oh, because you're such a loyal customer, they lowered your rates over the years. Okay. I'm saying. You better talk to Mr. Johnson. Freethinker said, "Only reason I'm here right now is because of my mom and sis. If my mom was deceased, I'd be in a cave, LMAO, and my nieces. I have property in my name, so when I die, I can pass it to them." I love that. That's dope. Because I was talking about that earlier with the scripture reference I made for 2 Kings 4, where it's talking about masculines. Are y'all in position to pass down some sort of asset to your feminines or to your children if you have any? Like, do you have something that they can use so that when you pass away, or if anything happens to you, they won't be left like a sitting duck? And I'll be honest with you, Freethinker, you're the only masculine to be interactive in these comments. Tell me why. In the stream I did before this, we're talking about femininity, dudes had all this other stuff to say, but now we're talking about something serious and they quiet. They might be learning. They might be in the clouds and in the back learning. At the same time, why were they so interactive in some stuff that ain't had nothing to do with them? Yeah, this has everything to do with them, and they're quiet. I'm going to leave that there. Crystal said, "I low-key had a crush on Andrew, and he's from the Chi. I didn't know he was from the It's something about these Chicago These Chicago dudes. I'm going to leave it. I ain't going to say that. Freethinker said, "You said 570, LOL, 750. My bad. Credit score 750 plus. My bad. Freethinker said, "Crystal, yep, I'm 29, soon to be October 11th. The young are up on game and some elders are not, when it should always be that the elders are delivering the knowledge." It's sad, really, because like not only are they not delivering the knowledge, and big Libra season, see, it's the season for the Libras. Not only are they not delivering the knowledge that some of them have, some of them don't, which is fair. They don't have the knowledge to give, so they can't. But some of them are actually like trying to cause a harm to those of us who are, like, very literally very literally. Those of us who have the information and knowledge, the elders are so jealous and mad that they don't have it that they're trying to harm us and prevent us from sharing more information and knowledge. Like, weirdos. Get your social security check and shut up. Firefly say, yes, Ellie, you are a phenomenal woman and has found your wisdom. Love it. Love it so much. Love you. I love y'all so much. When Wartman said, peace, goddess. What's good? Freethinker say, yep, very wise, LOL. That's why I was glad to meet like minds online when 2019 hit. Boy, that shift was crazy. The 2020 stuffs really helped us wake up. It really did. Because I had my situation personally happen in 2019. So once the 2020 stuff happened, I was gliding through life. I was so happy when everything happened in 2020. Everybody else panicking and sad. I'm like, I don't subscribe to none of the emotions y'all got right now. I'm so happy. What? It was great. Firefly said, Freethinker, we out of that Piscean age and know in the knowing I know. Ooh, know in the knowing I know. Okay. Freethinker said the only time they talk is when it's about drama. High key. Because once I started pointing out the masculines and I wasn't talking shit, I was just being honest and holding them accountable for certain things, and they wanted to get in their feelings. And I was like, why are you here in the first place? They always want drama. That's another reason why I'm taking a break from Instagram. Do ladies hit me with the drama? Not really. And that's the weird thing about it. It's like, ladies, we be in the DMs talking about some serious stuff. When it comes to guys, in my comment sections and in my DMs sometimes, it's just like, what's going on? No, for real. For real. With the, yeah. But I appreciate y'all's input so much. This was a lot. This really was a lot. Like I said, when I usually do videos like these are virtual business meetings for the most part, but we didn't have a specific topic other than the passive income thing. But that's a broad topic that covers everything. Everything has some form of passive income in it, no matter what industry you're in. It does not matter what industry you're in. Like, this air conditioner company, even if we're not talking about specifically the air conditioner company, who created the little remote, who made the plastic for it, I can invest in the company that made the plastic for the remote for this air conditioner company. Who put the rubber on the buttons, I can invest in the rubber company that made the buttons for the remote for the air conditioner company. Like, the boring businesses are what you want to invest in for passive income. Invest in commodities. Commodities are things that everyone always uses on a regular basis. Plastic, lumber and wood, glue, paper, anything, metals, all types of metals, iron, you have your copper, you have your tin, okay? Invest in the companies that are boring. That's where the money is. Why do you think it's so much money? Because nobody wants to do it. It's boring, but it makes money. It's necessary. The reason it makes so much money is because that's what our lives have been built off of. I'm looking at my eyelashes. Y'all, this eyelash was doing good from the last stream and it just decided to give up. Okay. Crystal said, yo, Libra Gay, my birthday on the 7th, and it's the Sabbath, Saturday. I was born on a Saturday. So this is one special. This one is special. I turned 34 equals 7. So yeah, 7 is my favorite number. Whoa. And it's the 7 years. So you get to end this year in your 7. I'm already in my 7. So like this year has been the 7. 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. So you get to close out the year with your energy because big period. Okay. And then remember next year when you turn 35, you're going to be in the 8, and that's the abundance year. That's why we got to get our stuff ready now in the last quarter of the year, so then by the time next year comes, it's the abundance year. We're going to be in the portal for abundance. That 888 Lionsgate portal this year, it doesn't close until the 88 portal next year. The reason being is because we're going to be in the 8th year, so next year it's going to be 888. So that Lionsgate portal has been open this whole time. It's going to be open up until August 8th, 2024, which will be 888. Big abundance. We are in the abundance portal right now. Firefly said, yeah, 2020 was lit. It was. Freethinker said, I feel like it helped us move versus if they didn't use that. We'll catch you later. Peace, everybody. Yeah, I got to create passive income for real. I work a 9 to 5 now. Okay. Firefly said, great live. Y'all goddesses are on fire. Greatly appreciate you. Freethinker said, as long as I have a job, I'm going to be good. I just need to work for myself instead. I feel that definitely put your stuff into some passive income. So then even if you're like in transitioning from your job to whatever hustle you want to do, you have some money coming in whether you're working or not, okay? So you got the passive income idea, but just find the stuff to put it in. So yeah. Shalom, Rainicorns. I will see y'all in the next one. Tawara.
Why can't you say Dawla?
I appreciate that, NJ. That means thank you. Freethinker said October. I love my B-Day month. Crystal said, wow. And my life path is 8. So it's on point. You just leveled me up a lot today. Freethinker said mine is 11. 10. Oh, it's always see 11, 11. Okay, no, that's okay, I'm finna go now. Bye, bye, bye.